What's up, dudes? Check it out. I got another one done. Oh my god, this one is so cute. So this is like kind of like silky type fabric feeling. And it's this pinstripe with this cool floral pattern in it. Let me see. There we go. So, and then on the inside, it's so cool. Ready? Woo! Sweet. Oh my god, with a delicious pinstripe. And then the pink bows. Oh my god, that's what I did yesterday. Finished it last night. It's so cute, you guys. I have 40 capes done. Oh my god. It's true. I'm going to keep plugging away at them. I want to get them on a website. But I got to get a website going. So they will be available for sale soon. Check this thing out. Isn't this rad? I got this at the thrift store. I think it goes like this. So there we go. Ready? Woo! Oh. So, I just stepped on my dog's toy. A squeaky toy might mean something. That is a bright light. Good morning, darlings. Spirit sent me in to, we have an immediate galactic seminar. All right, we got serious transmissions came in. All right, a fork might mean something. My scissors and my fork just banged together. All right. If this resonates with you, Spirit has sent in immediate help for you. You are in the darkest part of the dark night. Don't despair. We sent in solid Goldie with her sweet light to show you the way. It's all gonna be okay. Here's the balloon. Sweet relief, a moment of bliss. All right, and then Spirit has these topics that I'm supposed to talk about. So the topics are Alice in Wonderland feeling, or, and it also feels like, floating in the ocean. Alan Watts' discussion on the balloon. How we are in the process of evolution, and there are currently 2 kinds of people on planet Earth. How sensitive people feel more emotions. And then it came through this way. Fable, oak table. The tribe who can't see blue. You always saw the blue. All right? So our galactic seminar is going to begin. Alice in Wonderland. So Spirit wants to talk about the Alice in Wonderland feeling. So if you are on a spiritual awakening and you are in the darkest part of your dark night of the soul, and the dark night of the soul is pretty much a collapse of identity and reality. And I'll put some information in the comment section here of this topic discussion. And this video originated in YouTube. So all the links will be down in the comment section of this video. If you don't feel comfortable clicking on those links, I also put the title. You can copy the title and paste it into the search of YouTube, and that video will pop up. And these are all free. This is all free information. If you are smart enough and you are willing to do it, if you can comprehend the intelligence, you can make yourself feel better. Knowledge is the key to freedom. You can heal yourself. So Spirit will send in your soul family to try to help guide you with that. So the Alice in Wonderland and floating in the ocean feeling. If you're in a dark night, you may feel sometimes, and so what happens is your mind kind of gets, a switch turns on, and especially if you're a starseed who's been activated, all these keywords, there'll be definitions down in the comments of what these are, what I'm talking about. Because a lot of people this is happening to, and they have no idea what is happening. And you may feel like you're going crazy. You may feel like, yeah. So Spirit is saying surrender, first of all. And for me, in my work right now, what surrender means is saying, I allow that this is happening. I allow myself to believe that this is happening. With that said, I am loving and lovable. And there is some higher thing that has now just activated me, and I get to live the rest of my life with miracles and magic in my life. And from one person to another, you are going to be completely different after your awakening, and you are going to meet your authentic self. And darlings, surrender. It's such a better way to live. So you may feel, and so you have to look at this as the spiritual awakening is an event that happens to you. You have been chosen, if you will. I don't like to get real big into these like, I'm special and you're not type of things, but you have been chosen. You're not the only one. There's a whole bunch of other people that were chosen too, to have this experience. And there are people around you that are not going to be able to conceptualize this experience that is completely legit and you are going through. And this is something that happens to you. You don't get to choose. This is something that happens to you. And so it starts with, if you can take, whether or not you're Christian or whatever, the concept of Jesus take the wheel. Yeah, Jesus took the wheel. You got activated, and Jesus is just a symbol. You got activated for this divine healing. And so surrender to it and accept it, and then you can enjoy the process. And it's a very brutal process. But it will be less scary if you accept that this is something that's happened to you. And so what I think of it is like you got drafted by the galactic military. You got to think about it this way. You now have a new life. If you've gone on an awakening, everything is going to be totally different. You're going to see things completely different. You may have a career or something that you've been doing forever, and you may just say, I don't want to do this anymore. And then you might have like a complete, what do I do? I can't find any happiness in what I'm doing. I try to feed that hole and it never gets full. So what has happened is your mind can conceptualize. You have such a brilliant mind that Spirit has called forth it. And you got drafted by the universe. So accept it. This is happening to you. So when that happens, you can feel very, very small. And you can feel very, very big. It's when your mind starts expanding. All of a sudden you've thought like just a certain way. And then this thing happens, the awakening, and your mind starts expanding. You start thinking thoughts like you never thought. Everything shifts. All right, my nose is itching really bad. When I'm channeling, my nose itches bad. It feels like somebody has got like a little feather right around here. So you can almost feel hysterical. It's like this impending hysterical feeling. Am I going nuts? What's happening? Everything is fucked up. Your whole life may have just blown up. Yeah, and it can be very, very terrifying. This almost hysterical feeling. And a lot of people are going through spiritual awakenings very, very privately. And so sometimes it's easy to conceptualize something, and it helps quell that hysterical feeling. So that's where Spirit wants to talk about. Sometimes in the awakening, you can feel like Alice in Wonderland with the drink me. All of a sudden, you feel really, really big, really profound, and then you can feel really, really small, like I'm part of a hive. And then you can be really, really big, and it can be a mind fuck. Or you can feel very, very alone if you're in the middle of awakening and people around you are not. They can't conceptualize what is happening to you. And so you may feel like somebody floating in the ocean, a very turbulent ocean, all by yourself. And that can get this hysterical feeling. And so you may feel like you're like getting prepped to jettison off into Crazyville or something. So here's what Spirit wants you to think about. And this is where this is a lesson from Alan Watts. So to conceptualize the expansion, let's just like rein in that hysterical feeling. And to conceptualize the expansion, imagine Spirit's just going to explain to you what's happening. Because it can get so overwhelming, it's almost like a tsunami. So imagine a balloon, an unblown up balloon, a rubber balloon, a latex balloon. And it's black. Now, you see it? Now put white polka dots on it. It isn't blown up yet. It's a black balloon with white polka dots. Now you're going to start blowing it up. You have been activated. And so when you blow it up, think about the white polka dot. When you start blowing it up, the polka dot starts expanding. That's what's happening. But the polka dot itself isn't just expanding. Think of space as the black behind the white polka dots. The black is also expanding. So that's a visual to rest your mind on, the expansion. All right? Next, Spirit wants to talk about evolution. We have two kinds of people on planet Earth right now. So we are in the process of evolution, of course, constantly. And Spirit is saying there are two kinds of people on planet Earth. I jokingly refer to them as Neanderthals. But let's talk about it as the PlayStations. There are people that are the old PlayStation, and they can only play the old PlayStation video games. They can't even conceptualize the new PlayStation's video games. And there are people who have had the turn of the evolutionary wheel, and they are the new PlayStation. And they can play the new PlayStation games and the old PlayStation games. And everybody lives right next to each other. But the old PlayStations can't even conceptualize the new PlayStation games. So, if you are highly sensitive, if you are spectrum-y, if you are genius-y, if you are psychic, you've had the turn of the evolutionary wheel. You have access to more senses than the old PlayStation does. And the old PlayStation can't even conceptualize your senses. And so you just have to think about it that way. And then that's where you can start healing the iron fist on your heart. So a lot of us, I am 50 years old, so my generation may be 15 years up or down from 50, and that's very loose. My generation and generations before, guaranteed, if you were high functioning spectrum-y, there's no way you got any sort of acknowledgement, help, or anything, or anybody to explain to you who you are. And so if this resonates, you may have heard a lot in your life. Stop being so sensitive. You may have had a lot of righteous butthurt. I call it righteous butthurt. Like you have a right to be butthurt. And it's a legit butthurt. And this is what, the first thing I like to tell people, and you may have a realization, because we all go through life thinking everybody else is experiencing life the same way we are. We don't know any different. But you may get, as an adult, if you have children, you may get an autism diagnosis for your child. And it will never cross your mind that you might be spectrum-y. And then you start learning about autism, and you're like, wait a minute, now, hold up. And then you say, oh my goodness. There's this whole chunk of missing people that are not represented. The super high functioning spectrum-y people who have access to these other ways of thinking. I hear it like that. So if that resonates, what I want to say is, and so the more you start learning about autism, the less that vague question mark of who the fuck am I? Like, am I real? Like, what is it? That question mark melancholy that's been squeezing your heart? It kind of goes like this. I am weird, but now I know why. So what you have to understand, and a lot of your inner child hurt can also go, it doesn't go away, but it unclenches. So a lot of your childhood hurt, which may come with, stop being so sensitive. And with that comes righteous butthurt from you. Like, how could you? Why don't you? How come you never? Like all those kind of phrases. You have to understand that the other kind of people, which the OG PlayStations, the Neanderthals, they can only feel feelings from 0 to 100. Their mind can only conceptualize the saddest they can even come up in their mind is 0. Anything sadder than that, they're like a calculator that just errors out. Like they can't conceptualize it. And the happiest they can conceptualize is 100. And as a highly sensitive person, you can plug in at negative 1,000. Really fucking sad. And positive 1,000. Really fucking happy. So you might be plugging in, or might have as a child, all the time, plugging in on these different intensities of feelings, and your caregivers or your loved ones or bullies or teachers or bosses or whoever can't even conceptualize what's happening. So you might be at negative 889 here, feeling really fucking sad, and all you keep hearing is, stop being so sensitive. Yeah, your sad was a legit sad. But The person who couldn't comprehend it, like, can you get mad at the gorilla because it can't make you a souffle? So when you look at kind of life experiences that way and understand not everybody feels emotions the same intensity, and you cannot expect a gorilla to make you a souffle. It's never going to happen. They're a different kind of being. When you can get there, that righteous butthurt will kind of But for the record, it's righteous butthurt. So that's what Spirit wants me to explain. All right. Then the Fable Oak Table. It came through like that. The tribe who couldn't see blue. So Spirit wants to talk about this concept. There was a tribe who never had a word, we've all heard it, for the color blue. So blue didn't exist to them. They'd look up at the sky and they'd describe it in shades of purple and gray. So this is explaining how two realities can happen at the same time. So a tribal person who grew up in that tribe, blue does not exist to them. It's hard to wrap your mind around that. But if there is, and so we're also thinking about senses too. We have more senses than we have words for. So if you ask anyone in that tribe what color is the sky, they will say 100%, knowing fully that they are correct, the sky is purple. And they absolutely will live and die saying, I know I'm 100% right, the sky is purple gray today. Yeah. What? Blue? No. What are you talking about? You are a crazy person. The sky is purple gray. I can't understand what you're even saying. That person fully believes that they are correct and the sky is purple gray. And their whole community also says, yes, this person is telling the truth. The sky is purple gray. But we know in other parts of the world, other tribal members are looking up and saying, what a beautiful blue sky today. Over on this part of the world, the sky is blue. Whatever their word is for blue. It's a beautiful blue sky today. And we all know the sky is blue. Who's right, though? That's two realities happening at the same time. So I think Spirit is trying, there's expanding minds that are expanding. There are people that are feeling hysterical. And then my other advice is 2 words, get used to them. Be brave. That's what I have told myself during my whole awakening. Be brave. Especially if you're a starseed, especially if you're psychic, highly sensitive, something like that, geniusy. You might be, if you're a starseed, your activation might be totally insane, totally trippy, supernatural. It might be very brutal if Spirit's calling upon your mind to go through the cleanse super fucking fast. The more you fight it, the more towers you're going to get. It can be terrifying if you don't know what's happening. So my advice is to learn the words, be brave. Are you feeling what you're registering as fear? Is that a new feeling? Okay, I feel like I just saw an orb. A new feeling that you don't have a word for. Or anxiety? Ask yourself, does this hurt? Am I hurt right now? Or am I just scared? Am I not used to having my passion light turned on, which it got turned back on? My pilot light? And now I'm feeling all these intense emotions? Is this anxiety excitement? But I'm not used to feeling excitement? Does this hurt me right now? No, I'm not getting hurt right now. I'm going to be brave through this and just see where this feeling takes me. Because Spirit has turned back on my emotions. I was numb for a very long time. That's where you can, and it can be, you can feel almost embarrassed at sometimes. You may walk outside and like start weeping. You may see like a commercial, all of a sudden it hits home, you're fucking sobbing like a baby. All that levels out. What happened was, imagine like a plugged up drain or something. Your chakras were closed off and Spirit cleared them out, and now all these emotions are flowing and your chakra system is getting aligned. Stuck energy is moving around. You're birthing bog bodies. That's what I call it, birthing bog bodies. Bog bodies are those, think of those bog mummies, like on a perfect climate day, somehow the bog just rips open and the mummy comes out, and then we all study it. Oh my God. Yeah, well, think of those mummies as issues that you have pushed down way in your stomach. And so Spirit wants me to explain. So imagine our bodies, now we're talking energy. Imagine our bodies as like a Kool-Aid pitcher. And you have all your issues at the bottom of the pitcher. You've got the water all the way to the top of the pitcher and the Kool-Aid pack in there. But there's no room for the sugar. Your vessel only has so much room. Your body, your vessel, only has so much room. And so Spirit said, darling, your Kool-Aid is fucking nasty. Yeah, it needs sugar. We need to make room in the vessel. We are going to get rid of the bog bodies, and we're going to replace them with the sugar. And so all of a sudden, issues that you have pushed down, and you may not even realize you had those issues. You may not even realize that you had trauma. They get awakened. And they come out, and you birth them. And you birth them through your mouth or your butt. That's the way Spirit says. You might make the worst smell you've ever smelled in your life. Yeah, that was a demon that just left you. So what happens is, these issues that you have pushed down somewhere in your gut, your other brain, your gut, are now going to be expelled from your vessel by the grace of God. However you view God, Spirit, Source, God, your ancestors, aliens, the Force, however you call it, I call it all of the above, has taken over and is helping heal you. And these issues that you, when you were a child, Spirit put a veil on you. because it was too intense, too hardcore, not appropriate for a child to have to go through that intense of whatever that demon was. And then you get older, you have your awakening, you have the expansion, and your mind starts lifting the veil. Now think, whatever trauma Spirit is forcing you to look at, you may have, now imagine it as the devil's inside this mountain. Whole life you've gone around the mountain, you've gone over the mountain, you've gone this way around the mountain. Yeah, but the devil's still there. Spirit is tunneling a hole through the mountain, and you are going to stare that fucking devil in the face, and then it's going to get eradicated. So all these old issues might come up. And you may find birthing those bog bodies is horrid. Spiritual awakening is not puffy clouds and feathers and unicorns prancing around. Not all the time. The majority of the time at the beginning is visceral. It's sobbing. It's snot coming out of your face. It's your soul cracked and screaming. It's dealing with serious, serious things. Collapses of false reality, terrified, and the whole thing is very, very lonely. It's a solo journey, and you may be around a whole bunch of people that can't even conceptualize what just happened to you. They may even get mad at you like you're choosing this. But this is definitely a thing that has happened to you. So when Spirit has you birth that bog body, you might go through a horrible purge, whatever it is. And then all of a sudden, it's like Spirit, it's like the cut and then a salve right away. So Spirit, you birth the bog body, and then all of a sudden you'll ascend in vibration, you'll go up in vibration, you'll change vibration. And Spirit's putting the sugar right in real quick. And you say, oh my God, I feel better. I feel like emptier. I feel like I just ran a marathon, climbed a mountain, did all this stuff. And you did spiritually. You birthed a bog body. You like birthed a demon out of you. And so when you change vibrations, think of yourself, we all vibrate. We're like vibrating beings. And then think of yourself like a refrigerator. It's got all these magnets stuck to it. And when you change vibrations, and the magnets are demons, energy vampires, things, barnacles, things sucking on you. Lower vibrational people, karmic ties, spells, expired contracts, all of that kind of stuff. And when you change vibrations, all of a sudden your fridge is vibrating at a different vibration, and some magnets just immediately fall off. They can't stick anymore to this new vibration. So you will find, once you start healing, you feel better faster and faster. It's like a big healing snowball that keeps getting bigger and bigger. And then all of a sudden, I changed vibrations. You may get real congested. You may get sick. You may have a real intense dream. You may birth a real intense bog body. You may wake up and just feel like, you may walk around and say, I feel shorter. All of a sudden I feel like I'm shorter. Everything looks like an inch or two shorter. You may have changed vibrations, or everything looks a little bit taller. What's happening here? That's that weird Alice in Wonderland feeling. And you may notice you change vibrations faster and faster the more you surrender. And spirit can, like, you're out of there, demon. Here comes sugar, honey. You're out of there, demon. Here comes some more sugar. That's all your ancestors that are your main guides that are helping you through this. But the dark night is very, very dark. And that's where we lose a lot of people to ending their life. People who don't know what's going on, who truly legit think I'm going batshit crazy. Just like that, just like that. People who are afraid to tell anybody and have no idea about these spiritual concepts in awakening that explains this whole experience, that they're not alone. Spirit will send in your soul family. If you're watching this and you're resonating, I am part of your soul family. I'm a grid worker, a light keeper, a lighthouse. Solid Goldie here. Solid Goldie, the go-go dance line cheerleader hippie chick. Spirit will send in kind of girl next door vibes. Somebody who say, hey, guess what? You just got Super Bowl slammed. So the darkest part of the dark night is a Super Bowl slam. That's what the awakening is. So imagine when we were kids and we whipped a Super Bowl as hard as we fucking could, and it would bang on the ceiling. Sometimes you'd try to do it, see if you could do it twice. So when you're in the darkest part of the dark night, when everything is totally fucked up, it's called the Tower in tarot. Spirit has taken you and whipped you down. And that's to shake off all those negative entities. And it's so hardcore that the sphere of the Super Bowl actually gets flat. That's how hard that whip is. And that's where, with my work, my goal is to help find people in this part and to say, get back up, darling. Don't give up, because you are about to bounce so high. You just got to follow it through to the end. So the awakening is a metamorphosis. You will go from the caterpillar version of yourself into a cocoon, and that is, you will find you're going to spend a lot of time hermiting up alone, doing this healing work, the hermit in the cave, learning. Knowledge is the key to freedom. Learning, making sure you're learning from proper masters. And then after you're done with that whole process, you won't be alone your whole life. You will emerge, and here comes the butterfly. That's your authentic self. And that's what Spirit is trying to show all of us who have been very wounded and may not like, for whatever reason, the caterpillar version of ourselves. And what Spirit has to, we have to remember what Spirit is saying is the butterfly is never embarrassed of the caterpillar version of itself. In fact, the butterfly says, hey, caterpillar version of myself, thanks for putting up with all the bullshit. Thanks for grubbing down all that good food so I had enough energy to get through this metamorphosis. Thanks for dodging all those vultures and crows and birds and whatever trying to eat us up. Thanks for taking all the hits. Thanks for doing all the hard work all by yourself. I have woken up from my sleep and I am a butterfly, and I peacefully detach from you, caterpillar version of myself. Yeah, welcome to Healedville, darling. All right, there's the pep talk. Yeah, have a great day. And if this is resonating with you and if you're lost, there is going to be a bunch of knowledge. So Spirit likes me because I'm a real good librarian. Spirit has shown me specific little clips and videos of other people who have given away free information. And let's remember to thank these people. So if you go on YouTube or anywhere, and this is in life too, ask yourself, am I just being a taker? Do I swoop in, grab all this free information, gobble it all up, and then fly away and leave nothing in return? Have I bothered to hit a like or a subscribe? Or am I just being an energetic taker? So a good thing with energy back and forth, with karma, that kind of thing, is to really be present in your mind, to try not to be just a taker. That energy exchanges back and forth. So what I do on YouTube, it's really easy. If I say, I'm going to watch this video, oh, I like this video, I'm going to watch it, I click on it and I immediately hit the like. Whether or not I've heard the information or not, guaranteed I haven't heard it, because when I click on it, I hit the like. And I do that because that is, if you look at it this way, that's the door fee to go to that show. That's thanking that content creator for their time and effort. It's not me deciding if I'm going to get butt hurt or not over whether it's righteous or not, over what the content is. It's not me clicking on someone just to take a big shit on someone's shine and immediately hit thumbs down. It's not a power play, that thumbs up. It's called respect. And then when you start doing that, then you'll find you won't be watching the same videos. If you watch a lot of entertainment videos or something, you're like, oh, have I already seen this? You'll look, oh, it's already got a thumbs up. Yeah, I have. So Spirit says in life, let's not just be takers. Let's be givers too. All right, there's your message. Have a great day, guys. I love you. I hope you love you.